All right, you guys, I'm wrapping up for the day. Cut. We're going to do that again. First, I got to get my lights on so you can actually see me. And then we're going to shoot this video. Here we go. Take 3. Morning, everybody. Another beautiful day in the shop. Another day to be out working on our projects in the garage or in the shop here, and I'm just super excited about the progress that we're making. So we've done the rust conversion. I'm gonna go down and go ahead and wipe down the frame one more time, just make sure there's no dust or debris on there, and grab out some primer and start rattle canning some primer onto this frame. And then we are going to apply a chassis paint, and there's different people have different views on what they should be using, what they don't, what they shouldn't. I grabbed it's called magnet paint. That's the what is it? What do they call it? They call it a chassis saver. Let me see if I can pull this out of the package here. I got it out. The struggle was real. Man, they had this thing packaged up good. You can see right here, it's chassis saver. See if we can get that in close enough for you to actually see what it is. But it's a truck auto and auto underbody coating. And you're supposed to be able to paint it right onto rust and have it adhere and do all that. I'm trying to clean the frame up just a little bit better, and make it attach even more. So that's my plan, and we're gonna get this frame wiped down and get this stuff painted on there. So that's what we're gonna do. We've got it rust converted. We've done all the work that we're supposed to do on that. I am now gonna wipe down the frame, get it, make sure all the dust and debris, everything's off of it. It's been sitting for a couple days, curing, had to let it sit for 48 hours. But now we are going to pull out our rust preventative. They call this chassis saver. It's supposed to be able to paint directly onto rust, and when it's all finished, it produces, it gives a nice glossy finish, all that good stuff. So that's what we're gonna throw on here. I'll show you the product. It's not super cheap. I'll have to look it up and see what the price actually is on this. But we're gonna get this on there, and hopefully by end of day, we have this thing pretty well dialed in. And by the end of this week, maybe we can start putting the tank, fuel lines, brake lines, axles, start throwing this thing back together. That's what I'm hoping. That's the plan. We're gonna take you along as we go. All right, we are back. All done with paint on the 66. You might get to see a few shots of that. Not going to bore you with all the time frame, because that was almost, I think, almost 2 hours that I spent brushing this paint onto the frame. Now, if you're noticing, and I'll show you here in just a second, this is what the frame looks like now on the outside. And I did a bunch of work back in this area where I put in all new metal frame, and we welded stuff up. And back here in the tank area, because we're all prepped and pretty much ready to drop the tank in, and so I painted the inside of that. But you will notice if you look in here that I did not paint the inside of this middle section of the frame, from this back cross member all the way up here to the front Crown Vic mount that we placed in there. And the reason that I did that, it was intentional. I'll actually primer it and throw some cheap paint on it. But we're not done with this frame. Where our intent is to try and get the truck up and running, get some pieces thrown in here. But down the road, I'm still looking at maybe boxing in the frame, doing a couple of spots. We still don't know for sure if this cross member is exactly where we're gonna need it. We gotta put the engine in, get a drive line in. There's still a couple pieces that we need to kind of fix that we're not done with. And I know it's not exactly how you would do it. If we had money and we had time, then I would just I would just wait, buy all the parts, box in the frame, and build this. But we're trying to do it in stages so that we can enjoy it, drive it from time to time, and then as we have the money and we have the time, we'll take it back apart and fix pieces as we go. That's the idea with this truck. Learn, get to drive it, have fun with it. Not really building a show truck out of it, just trying to make something functional, being that it's our first hot rod that we've ever actually taken a frame apart on, done welding, done all those parts. So that's the plan. I know it's going to take a little bit longer. I know it's not exactly how anybody with like all the experience, time, money, and all that stuff would do it, but it's what we can do, and it's how we're building this truck. So but I am excited because the frame's done. and it is ready for, it's ready actually. As soon as this all cures, we'll give it 48 hours. We're ready to throw the tank in. We're ready to start putting brake lines in, throw the rear axle back in, and begin to put this thing together with the dream of maybe firing it up this summer. I was hoping to make it in August to Libya. It's getting a little bit late for that. Probably not going to happen. In fact, honestly, it's most likely not going to happen. Just trying to get real with you and accept the reality myself, really. But that's the long-term goal. That's the plan. All right, good morning, everybody. Back here out on the 66, getting ready to start actually putting this thing together. So I'm going to go check the paint, make sure everything's where I want it, and then we're going to start putting the axles in it, getting ready to set the rear tank. Got some holes to drill, some bolts to throw in. Going to start running lines, all that fun stuff. So that's the plan. Rear axle is going to go in today. And then I'll probably start doing brake lines from the back and bringing those forward. So I'm going to set up a camera. You can watch what we're doing. Take you along. All right, we got the rear axle in. Actually, I've got it. It's all set in place now. You can see I've still got a little bit of cleanup to do if I want to make it look show quality. Well, not show quality, but if I want to make it all look the same. But our plan is to actually get this thing plumbed and see if we can get it running. You know, the dream would be that sometime this summer before winter hits, we're able to actually roll this thing down the road. So that's what we're shooting for. Not everything's perfect, but our plan, long-term plan, is we'll pull this thing apart and work on it, fix it, improve it as time goes by. But just trying to get the main frame stuff, get it running stuff done. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing. As you can see, I've got a 4-link system in the back. This came out of my son's 95 Mustang GT kit that he bought for that. Lowering springs, adjustable, all the fun stuff that comes with those kits. And so we've got that in here, and we're going to try it. Well, I'm a little bit worried about the spring rate. I'm not sure if it'll actually handle the pickup load, but since it's going to be an empty bed primarily in the back, we're going to try it, see how it handles, and maybe have to jump up from there. But as you can see, we built it so that eventually we could do coilovers right here, or you know, worst case scenario, we can always move them inside. We have plenty of structure in here to work with. So that's the plan. This one's done. Going to throw the front axle in, or front cross member, core support, and control arms, all the front end on. And get it setting on its own, and hopefully show you a picture of what that looks like when it's setting on the ground, ready for fuel, brake lines, fuel tank, wiring, all kinds of fun stuff that we're hoping to slowly start working on starting this weekend. All right, guys, wrapping up with the 66 for today. We're going to be on it more later, probably tomorrow, working on it a bunch. But I wanted to show you the progress that we made. So I got the front cross member put in. Did some alignment stuff, measuring off, making sure that it's in the right spot. Got the wheels put back on. Don't have the rear control arms bolted on, but and I also got the rear axle put in. You can see back here, axle's in. Everything's bolted down. I just set the tank in temporarily. You can see where we're going to set it. I know we're not doing it on the bottom rail of the rear frame. I know that's where a lot of guys do it. I didn't want to do it there just for the simplicity of, I didn't want to take out this back cross member to get that thing slid in. And we've already cut the bed out for the C-notch that we put in, because we put in a big C-notch. First time doing it, probably more than what we needed, but who cares? It's my truck. I get to try and build it how I want. I wanted to try one of those, have never done it before, so that's what we did. But it gives us the ability to take out more of the back of the bed, raise it up a little bit, and put in this tank the way we want it. So that's the plan. Hopefully tomorrow, part of what we're going to be doing is plumbing in brake lines and starting to plumb in our fuel lines. And then if we get to it, we may drop the motor back in and do some measurements for a driveline. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, but that's the plan. Got to take off. Oh, I had one other question real quick. I would like for you guys to throw me your opinion. Doesn't mean that I'm going to actually do what you suggest, but I would like to know what you're thinking. I've got these wheels off of a 2005 Mustang GT right here, and I'm trying them on the truck to see what they look like. You guys have seen what I've had on here before, and just in case you don't remember, I'll show you. It's the old Crown Vic. The black Steelies with the center chrome. So we've got those on there. I have a set of those. Or I stole these 2005s off of Tim's car that we just showed you guys a couple weeks ago. So just curious, what are your thoughts? I'm actually not a big fan of the polished aluminum anymore. So I might I might see about getting them powder coated black because I really like the look of the black rims on the red truck, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, just throw me your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Would really appreciate it. We'll check in with you later. Hopefully show you some more brake stuff.